good, y'all? It's your boy King Cal 516 live in the mix, and this is the Swiss Flames podcast. So we got a trade today in the world of the NBA. That's right, a trade as the offseason has gotten kind of quiet, but we had a chess piece on the board, a restricted free agent, Lauri Markkanen, and so we were waiting to see what ends up happening with him. It was obvious the Bulls didn't necessarily want to keep him, but was kind of looking for the right trade partner to trade him, and they found it. And it's a 3-team trade, which includes the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Portland Trailblazers, and the Chicago Bulls. And so Lauri Markkanen from the Chicago Bulls will get traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he will sign a 4-year, $67 million deal. So it's a sign and trade that Cleveland has worked out with the Bulls. All right, so Markkanen will go from the Bulls to the Cavs. So the Cavs are going to send out Lauri Nance Jr., who's going to go to the Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers will send Derrick Jones over to the Bulls. And so this is an interesting trade. This is not a trade that moves the needle for any of these teams, like, oh, now they're contenders, like, oh, for the championship. It doesn't necessarily do that. It's a more of a, I'm not going to say minor move, but it's more like a medium move for these teams, just to give them a different look. Lauri Nance Jr., let's talk about him on the Portland Trailblazers first. And so I like Lauri Nance as a hustle guy. He's a good hustle guy. He's a guy that has a lot of athleticism. He has a decent mid-range game. You know what I mean? He can hit those mid-range jumpers. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, does he now put Portland Trailblazers over the top? No. Does he change the needle for Dame, per se, with, oh, yes, be extra excited? Not necessarily. But, hey, he gives them a different look on offense because he gives them a very he gives them a vertical lob threat, which is always important, but his athleticism is I just think he has incredible athleticism, and the thing is, it'll give them just a little different look in that pick and roll situation if he does the pick and roll with Dame. You know, it'll give them a different look, but once again, I don't think that move moves the needle per se for the Portland Trailblazers. Derrick Jones Jr., he's a very athletic shooting guard. He, is a decent defender. So you put him with the Bulls. He's, he's young as well, so he kind of fits the age timeline. You know what I mean? And so for the Bulls, you can tell from the guard play, they wanted to get a lot more physical and athletic. Derrick Jones not as much physical, but he's athletic, and he puts the effort on defense. And so the Bulls have made a priority, to get defenders on the guards. And so bringing in Lonzo, bringing in Alex Caruso, and now bringing Derrick Jones Jr., they're very athletic now with the guards, and they got, definitely some defensive versatility there that they didn't have necessarily the season before, which makes me wonder what's going to end up happening to Kobe White over there. That'd be interesting to see. But, Derrick Jones Jr., once again, now he becomes a role player over there in the Bulls, which makes me believe that it'll be interesting to see where DeMar DeRozan plays. Because I'm assuming the backcourt is going to be Lonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, and then most likely you probably would have DeMar DeRozan playing the 3 and Patrick Williams the 4. I think that's where the Bulls will head and where to go, and obviously Vucevic at the center. But we'll see what happens with the Bulls. At least they have options coming off the bench at the guard play. Like I said, they definitely have a different look when it comes to their guards. So we'll see how that forms in the rotation. And then last but not least, Lauri Markkanen, who the Bulls stopped believing in. You could tell that they basically, both sides probably were in agreement they wanted to part ways. And now Lauri Markkanen gets a chance to have a fresh start with Cleveland. So, he'll go into starting role there. And we'll see how he does there. We'll see what kind of how the offense will run in Cleveland. They're a very guard-centric team with Sexton in the back, in the backcourt there. There was a lot of rumors of Colin Sexton possibly being traded, but we haven't seen anything of that likes. So we'll see how Lauri Markkanen fits there. I think it'll be a good look for him because I just think he needs a fresh start. You know what I mean? And I think that going to Cleveland will give him a chance for that fresh start. So once again, this is not a major trade. It's kind of like a medium trade, somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? It gives these teams different looks. We'll see which one works out, but it's a little bit of excitement on a Friday afternoon. And so this is your boy King Cal 516. Let me know what you think about this trade. Who you think won the trade? Who you think is going to benefit? And which player you think is going to do the best in this trade. Comment, like, subscribe. Remember to check out the website, www.swissflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter, @SwissFlames, and definitely check out the Facebook page, @SwissFlames Podcast. Remember, you can search us out on Google, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and more. With that said, it's your boy, King Cal 516. This has been the Swiss Flames Podcast. Peace out, y'all.